Welcome back to Good Morning Black Hills. Today for your Mental Health Monday segment, we are talking about Alcohol Awareness Month, a topic that affects millions of Americans nationwide, and what you can do if you or someone you know finds themselves suffering from alcoholism or alcohol abuse. Joining us this morning to talk about the topic is Toni Miller with West River Mental Health. First of all, how are you doing this morning?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing excellent here, kind of enjoying the nice weather that's ahead of us.
Right.
According to our first meteorologist, Eric Gardner. But let's step away a little bit from the weather and talk more mental health. And when it comes to alcoholism and alcohol abuse and what people should know about them, knowing that they are not the same thing. Could you kind of elaborate on what they are?
Yeah, absolutely. So commonly when we think about alcohol abuse, it's really when we're misusing alcohol, right? We're taking too much of it, or we're using it in times that put us at risk, right? Alcoholism is where if you're continuing to do that through longer periods of time, and that you're struggling with it and it develops into more of an addiction rather than a situational thing. Gotcha.
And knowing kind of those simplified definitions of it, how can that impact someone's life?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it can impact in a lot of different ways, right? Sometimes we can see some legal ramifications, getting DUIs, losing licenses, but it can also appear in smaller ways. Disruptions within your family, relationships that you have. You can also see symptoms that impact your body, right? Physiologically, it can start to cause illnesses, or it can also impact your mental health generally, right? By making you more depressed.
Right, and how can if someone is suffering from either, how can they start noticing? What are some of the signs that they're starting to kind of fall into this?
Sure, yeah. So when we think of it becoming more of a problem, it would tend towards using more than you intended to, right? So if you have a limit set around how much you're going to drink or how long you're going to be drinking for, and you exceed that limit, or you start to see it reach into other parts of your life, it's impacting work, daily activities, those kinds of things, that's where you start to want to check in with yourself.
Right. And what are some of the resources available to our viewers in case they want to seek out help?
For sure. So West River Mental Health does offer assessments for substance use, and that can include alcohol. If you're at a point where your use is really severe and you need to have a detox support, then Care Campus does offer that. But that assessment is really the first link to any kind of services.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on Good Morning Black Hills. It has been a pleasure to talk to you this morning.
Thank you.
And as for you watching at home, right after this, our First Alert meteorologist, Eric Gardner, has your